Hi, everyone, and welcome to Happy Trails Hiking. My name is Kay, and I'm happy that you're here today. On Happy Trails Hiking, you will find content about park travel as well as living a healthy lifestyle. It's great to see all of you today, and I hope that you're well. Today is Tuesday, and we talk about travel on Tuesdays. Today is a very special edition, I guess, of Travel Tuesday, and we're going to be talking about wildlife sightings and some of the things that I've seen on my travels and gotten to take part in and maybe just experience, because that's what we need right now is experiences. And maybe you'll do a little virtual travel along with me. If you like virtual travel, remember that our channel is full of virtual travel. We take you to national parks, state parks, public lands, and the like. We try to show you the things that we have seen along the way in our personal experiences. So I do want to say hello to Desmond Stonders and Lori Bryant. Thank you both for being here. And we're going to get into Travel Tuesday now. So some of the things that we've seen along the way, which are really fun for us, are animals. Almost anytime, not almost, anytime we see animals on our trips or on our adventures is always a highlight. Like, it's always like, oh, that was a great trip. So one of the great trips that we got to go on in our 4 years on YouTube, almost 4 years, in June it will be, was to the North Rim of the Grand Canyon. Now, we've been there twice. And one of the things I've always wanted to see is a condor. And if you've watched our channel a lot, you know that I love birds. You know that I love birds of prey. Well, condors are very special birds. I'm going to pull up the video so you guys can see that. I have a full video on the condor sighting and everything, but I do want to just show you what we've got here. I'm going to turn down the volume a little bit. There we go. All right. So hopefully you can see that. There he is. And I never want to say, so you might have heard me say, I think we have a condor. And so I wasn't sure, but I zoomed in and did the best that I could. We'd already hiked 5 miles out to Woodforce Point, on the north rim of the Grand Canyon. And Woodforce Point is just a lovely view across the canyon. And I saw this bird fly over and just approach, and yeah, he was beautiful. I just loved him. Do want to say hello to Budget Bushcraft, who says good morning, and Marty's Crew, Our Family Adventures, as well as Terry X2 Explore. It's great to see all of you, and I hope that you're having a great day. So today we're sharing out our wildlife sightings, and this one was back in 2017 on the North Rim of the Grand Canyon. If you haven't seen that video, I would highly recommend you look that up in our Trail Tales playlist. Just a bit of information about condors that I got from the National Park website. In 1982, there were only 22 condors left. And Arizona did a reintroduction, and that started in 1982. So that was really a neat thing. In 1992, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, with its public and private partners, began to reintroducing the captive bred condors. And in 2001, the first wild nesting occurred in Grand Canyon National Park. So in 2002, there were only 8 pairs of wild nesting birds population-wide. And in 2008, for the first time since the program began, more California condors were flying free in the wild than there are in captivity. So there are nearly 500 condors now in flying free in Arizona, Utah, California, and the Baja, Mexico. And that information came from the Grand Canyon National Park condor page that they have. They have a really neat condor page and lots of updates and things. I'm going to put that in the chat now for some of you who might be interested in learning more about condors or might be interested in seeing more of that. So that is our condor. The next thing that I wanted to show you, the next animal that we saw, is a kaibab squirrel. And it also came from the Grand Canyon North Rim. And kaibab squirrels are really interesting. Can you see something that might be a little different on this than your regular ground squirrels?
Squirrel.
So Our Haunted Travels is here with us. Thank you for coming. Kaibab squirrels, I'm going to pause that right there if I can. Kaibab squirrels have white tails and tufted ears. I'll pull it back up just a minute, but just wanted to say good morning to Our Haunted Travels, as well as Why Not in Wyoming. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming. And Gemma's Journey Grace. Thank you for coming today. It's good to see you. We're talking about wildlife adventures in our park travels today. So this is on the north rim of the Grand Canyon, and this is a kaibab, K-A-I-B-A-B, kaibab squirrel. And they normally have tufted ears. And the pictures that I found on online were really interesting, but they just looked crazier than this guy. They had a better hairdo than this guy did. But the white tail is what they're known for. So the reason they have a white tail is so that they can camouflage themselves in the snow. They will bury themselves in the snow and cover themselves with their tail, and then they're camouflaged from all the birds of prey. So, and these kaibab squirrels are only found on the Kaibab Plateau. So they're approximately 10,000 years ago. The kaibab squirrel was geographically separated from its common ancestor, the Abert squirrel. And the kaibab squirrel began to evolve on its own, is what it says. So this is also from the National Park Service website. But the photo and the pictures are the videos from me. Their tails are white, and the backs of their heads are chestnut brown. So in 1972, 7 female kaibab squirrel and 1 male, lucky guy, were transplanted to Mount Trumbull on present-day Parchant National Monument. Because the squirrel populations were localized on the Kaibab Plateau, scientists feared that the plague would wipe out the entire species. And so they really regenerated this species and really tried to keep the gene pool going. And they have managed to make a self-sustaining population now. So that was really neat. Let's see. Happy Trails Hiking. Looks like a squirrel and a rabbit got together. Well, yes, kind of with their cottontail. That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. So the information that I got on the kaibab squirrel from the National Park Service is right here. I'm going to put that in the chat as well. So you can see the picture from the National Park Service, but the video that I have is is here. And I was really thrilled to get to see this one. And we are a long distance away. For those of you who don't know, my camera has a wonderful zoom on it. And that's why it's not so stable. But I found it really interesting that this squirrel managed to find this nut that was buried. It always amazes me that they know where they're buried and they find them. So that was cool. All right, we're going to leave Grand Canyon National Park now. Is everybody ready to head on to our next park? It's great to see everybody today. Thank you so much. If you'll share this out with other folks who might be wildlife lovers, I would appreciate that so much. So our next video comes from probably Matt and I's favorite park, and I'm just going to let you watch it. It's going to be fairly self-explanatory. Here, I'll try and turn it up. Do you see them? I can see. I guess I can see them. That's funny. So those are one of my favorite animals. I'm going to play it again because I just love them. Look at them. Otters. Otters in Yellowstone National Park. And Yellowstone National Park is in Wyoming. And why not in Wyoming was here a minute ago. I hope you're still here. But we love otters, or I love otters. And these were at Trout Lake in the north part of Yellowstone. And yes, they're very playful. They kind of live up there at Trout Lake, especially during the trout spawning time. And they come down from Buck Lake, and yes, they are very, very playful. And they're beautiful animals, and I call them meepers because that's the noise I think they make. But these didn't make any noises. But Matt and I, on our Rockies road trip in 2018, headed to Lamar Valley and then headed on just a little farther to the Trout Lake Trailhead and hiked up to Trout Lake and over to Buck Lake. And I actually got there that time. And then got to see those otters. So those are wonderful. It's always wonderful for me to see otters, but good little hike too, if you're interested. Why Not in Wyoming said they will follow you on a river tube in our town. Oh, that's neat. So you walk along and they follow along. That's interesting. They're very social animals. That's what I found out. So, all right, let's hope that the next video is loaded. So this one is not in Wyoming anymore. This is at Timber Creek Campground in Rocky Mountain National Park. And we had just packed up our camp, and we are across a creek from this. And just to let you know, the campground was full of people, and there were people like everywhere. But everybody was so quiet. And there were 2 baby moose. They're adorable. I was taking this footage on my phone. I was zoomed in as far as I could be. So yeah, that was my very, very first moose sighting. And oh my gosh, it was just something. It was just something. Yeah. So back to the otters for a second. Why not in Wyoming? Says they're floating down the river as you go through their town. And Marty's Crew says otter tracks were recently found here in Kansas, but no one has actually seen any yet. Oh wow. So yeah. Baby mooses. Moose. I know it's not mooses, but that's okay. Good morning, Marianne Donnelly. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming. I'm happy to have you here. We're doing a little biology today. or ecology. I don't know. But this is in Rocky Mountain National Park with these moose, and we got to see them on our Rockies road trip. And Rocky Mountain National Park is in Colorado, and it's in eastern Colorado and in the northeast corner of Colorado, but this campground is on the western side of Rocky Mountain National Park. So if you're interested in seeing moose, and I understand they frequent that campground fairly often. So, and Why Not said that his wife saw first moose in Jackson Hole a few months ago. Yes, I don't have my Jackson moose this time, or my Grand Teton moose this time, but we've seen moose in Grand Teton since then too. All right. Are you loaded? You are loaded. Nice. Okay. So this one is really fun. Do you see it? A little bundle of bear. This bear is a baby bear seen in Grand Teton National Park, which is just south of Yellowstone. And I'm going to turn down the volume on this one because there's nothing major that's said, but there is a crowd of people that I'm watching this baby bear with. And those bears, they're such good climbers. This bear could not have been very old because it's so little, but such good climbers. Such good climbers. Look at that. Oh my gosh. And then once it gets down to the bottom of the tree, look down here in the corner for Mom's ears. You'll see them. You'll see them. Maybe. Yeah, right there. Did you see them? So this is a 3-minute-ish long video where I spend time looking for mama bear and baby bear and things like that. I'm across a road and zoomed in as far as I can zoom in to watch these guys. And we start backing up now. Like, oh, okay, there it is. But mama bear was not concerned about us. Not concerned about us at all. She just wanted to get food. It was July when we were there, and she was just gathering berries as fast as she could so that she could get all fattened up. Desmond Stonder says there's a moose moose loose in this hoose. Very fun. Moose are pretty cool. I really wanted to see a moose. So right now, the only thing that I've not seen is a beaver. I really want to see a beaver. That would be a thing that I've not actually seen in the wild. But and Why Not in Wyoming says, I've noticed that baby cubs' claws curve more like a cat, and they lose as they grow. Okay, they get not so curved, not so hooked. Well, that would make some sense for survival. Obviously, I spent a lot of time looking at these bears and watching these bears. And this is so far unseen footage by anybody on our channel because I edited so much of it out when I did the Wildlife Wednesday on the bears. But they're beautiful animals. And I think this was about the time when we were like, okay, she's coming this way. We're getting out of here. So just a reminder that you need to stay 100 yards away from bears and wolves in all national parks. But yeah, like I said, I'm very zoomed in here. Very, very zoomed in here. And that's why the show is the picture's so shaky. I was doing the best that I could. And it just, you really fight between I want to see it and I want to do what I'm supposed to do. So I was doing what I was supposed to do. I was just a really long ways away to get to show you things. So, all right. The next video said that it hadn't loaded yet. All right. Moose number 2. And Lori will remember this one. So Lori Bryant is my sister. And, it said that it hadn't loaded before. So we will see. This is a moose in Glacier if it'll load. Try again. Try again. Load. Go. Go, go, gadget. There it is. So this is Glacier National Park, and this is Lori's first moose sighting. And this is a male moose. Oops, excuse me. This is a male moose, and the last one was a female moose and her two calves. And you can tell that I am a very long ways away from that moose. He was clear across Fisher Cap Lake. And there is a female moose right there at the end. You can see the female moose too. So, and Lori says, I do remember that one. Well, I would hope so. So yeah, Lori was there for that for us, and I was thrilled that she could be there with us for that one. All right, this one is just a me moment. These are the horses in Theodore Roosevelt National Park, and these are wild horses. They're not, this isn't a farm. This is Theodore Roosevelt National Park. And Theodore Roosevelt National Park is up in North Dakota. And if you've seen my videos from there, you will have seen these horses before. But there was a whole herd of them. This was at about 6 in the morning. And yeah, this is what I live for on park travels. I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. So I hope that you'll go back and try to look at some of those videos on our channel. If you look up Theodore Roosevelt National Park, you'll find that complete video there. And thank you all for the compliments. I didn't do it, and look, it's just beautiful, but it's not me. I just happened to be there at the right time. So appreciate that so much. I've gotten to go and see a lot of things. Oh, that video is processing. Check back later. Well, let's download the video. And then I will cancel that. So what are some of your favorite wildlife sightings, especially if you're watching the replay? Let me know down in the comments what your favorite wildlife sightings are in national parks. And tell me what national park you saw them in too. So let me see if I can get this up. All right. So Lori and I went on a sister's trip back in 2016 to Cuyahoga Valley National Park. And we got to visit the beaver swamp. I didn't see any beavers that day, but I did get to see this, which I had never seen before. So I need to move that there and go like that. So this is a green heron. Green heron. And it's a very long ways away as well. And I was filming with a not so great camera at the time, but a green heron. And trying to pause, it's very hard. So it was really there. Really great to get to see a green heron. I've seen lots of blue herons, but never a green heron. And they're smaller than blue herons. So, yeah, I was really excited to get to see this one in Cuyahoga Valley National Park, and it's up in Ohio. So that is that one. Let's see what else I have. Really wanted it. Okay, so that's fine. I've got one left. Download anyway. So let's see what you all are saying. Hello, Dad Random. Thank you for your compliment. I appreciate it. And Desmond Saunders says, I always love seeing red deer in the highlands. Yes, that's, we don't have red deer here. We have white-tailed deer and mule deer, and that's about it. And then Why Not in Wyoming says, I've seen them running in North Dakota. That's fun. The wild horses, they were amazing. I got to spend a couple days up there. Marianne Donnelly says, my favorite was seeing a whole group of bald eagles, not in a national park, but in Alaska near a cannery in Saguaro. Yes, that's awesome. Dad Random says, I can't do national parks because they don't allow aerial photography. So I stay out of them and film on public land, other public land. Yes, you can. And you're correct. They don't allow aerial photography in national parks, which is honestly fine by me. But I understand where drone photographers would really love to be able to get in there and show off the beauty of national parks. So I agree with you there too. So my absolute favorite would be a white-tailed sea eagles on the west coast. Wow, that would be really, really fun. Let's see if I got that last video yet or not. Okay, last video. This is the one Matt requested that I show you guys. So if you watched our very last video of Wildlife Wednesday, but in February, not March, you will have seen this, or at least part of this already. Matt and I had never seen jackrabbits, but Matt said that I had to share this one with you all today because it was so much fun to watch them. So jackrabbits have very large ears. They're larger than their heads, and the ears are used to keep the sunlight off of the rabbit, basically. And these are white haloed jackrabbits. So there's ones with black haloed ears, so black tipped ears, and these are the white tipped ears. There were like 3 of them running around. And like I said, this is just unedited footage from my camera. So and these are in Saguaro National Park. I guess I didn't say that before. Saguaro is in Arizona. And we loved our trip in January to Arizona to see these Saguaro National Parks and to see these jackrabbits. So that was really cool. And I learned so much about them while I was there because they were an animal that I had not seen. The other animal that we really wanted to see while we were there was a javelina, but we did not get to see that. And yes, enormous ears, as well as I wonder how far away they can hear. I do not know the answer to that question. I don't know anybody who's done a jackrabbit hearing test. That would be something. Marianne, maybe you can work on that with your biology classes. Anyway, I hope that you all are having a wonderful Tuesday. And thank you for coming along for this Travel Tuesday. I appreciate all of the assistance with you all being here on the show. It's wonderful to talk to people on the outside. Working from home can get a little lonely, but it's nice to have you all there for Travel Tuesday with me. I did have a video come out yesterday. Matt and I did a 10-question tag for our RV life. And so you get to see a little bit more about ALF, our A-frame, as well as find out a little bit more about our thoughts about RV living and our RV lifestyle. On Thursday, you should see something from Henry Horton State Park. We were going to do a campground tour, as well as Matt got to explore Will Hoyt Mill with his dad there. So I won't be in the video. I do a voiceover or two, but that's about it. All right, guys. I appreciate you being here with me today. And if you will do a couple things for me, 1, hit the like button. 2, share this out with someone else who would love to see some virtual travel to some virtual national parks, no, some real national parks, and see some wildlife today. And 3, go out, live the life you love today. And remember, you are not replaceable. I appreciate every single one of you. Have a great day.